What's up, YouTube? Robert the Monster Among Marks Drap here, and I am joined once again by my good friend and tag team partner, Sierra. How you doing today?
It's wet. I've got a hurricane cat coming at me.
Uh-oh.
But I'm doing pretty good. I've already got all my water stocked up, all my food stocked up.
You're all
This girl
prepped.
is not getting unprepared. All I gotta do is fill up the bathtub.
Real quick, because my computer is rather shitty. Is that a Bullet Club enamel pin?
It's Kenny the cleaner. He just hasn't made it onto the vest yet with all the other Bullet Club pins and wrestling stuff.
God damn it! I need to start looking into wrestling enamel pins because I'm starting to get
Hot topic.
Yeah, I'm getting that direction myself. But we're getting away from what we're here to do tonight, which is, as our wonderful viewers can tell, we're going to be talking about last night's Monday Night Raw from September 10th, 2018. Joining us from where the home, would you call it the mausoleum of the streak, where the streak died, New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans has become a very big wrestling town just with the amount of times that Mania has been held there. It's kind of like New York's reputation for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible because assuming that I had...
No, the NOLA fans are great.
Oh, yeah, no, they're wonderful. Assuming I had the itch to do so, we could go on ahead and go to a WWE function in New Orleans, assuming that I had that itch. But we're kind of...
You going to New Orleans is like me going to New York.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine it's similar trip.
Speaking of which, there is rumors for a WrestleMania coming up in New York.
I would like to see another WrestleMania in Houston, but that's me.
I'd love to see something in DC, but we ain't got the capacity for that.
Nope. And there's a lot of that's loaded. I'm not going there. We're gonna start with how fucking Dolph Ziggler comes out wearing the tag team belt underneath his jacket. He is then
First
shortly
of all,
after...
he had pink pants on.
Yes, he did. He had the classic pink on. Then backing him up is Drew McIntyre, who comes out, and then fucking Braun Strowman comes out, and they all do the Braun Strowman roar. That's amazing.
It's great. They were doing that on the live shows with a bunch of people, and I guess they're the group that stuck. But yeah. I love seeing the live shots of Finn doing the Braun pose too. But that's not who all shows up.
That is true.
A multitude of heels from the locker room. To be specific, Elias, AOP, Gulak, Mahal, whichever Singh brother it is, Mojo. Was it Kanellis that came out? It was Kanellis. Kevin Owens and the Ascension.
Yep.
Very prominently featured.
Yep. I love how they turn this whole promo kind of on its head with acknowledging the fact that they are all sick of the Shield. And it's kind of that one thing that they're digging at us smarks that have said, we are sick of seeing the Shield in this capacity. This is not
I'm not
who they
sick
were.
of seeing the Shield.
Well, no. This was
the only way I'll cheer Roman.
Well, no, I agree. I'm saying that before the formation of Ziggler, McIntyre, and Strowman, an absolute powerhouse that could, if they wanted to, have destroyed the Shield trio by themselves. They just chose not to do it that way, and in a way, I think that's lazier writing, but that's me. This could have been the thing that they needed to have the Shield come up against to actually form again, and that would have been, for me, the right move. But we now have the Shield come down from their typical place in the stands. They come down there, they start fighting in kind of like Seth and Roman go over the barricade, but Dean does not. Dean's fighting in the aisles. Then he comes over the
handle Ambrose.
Yep, fucking comes out with fucking brand new axe handles and just like starts passing them out. Here you go. Here, one for you, one for you, one for me. Pitch the bag.
In the
beating 'em down.
90s, if that were to have happened, there would have been an actual axe on the handle.
Oh, there's a certain part of me that wants to see, because you had right there before Dean faced Brock, you had all of the legends coming out to bestow gifts upon the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose.
Oh, still one of my favorite segments, just to see all of the people give him the stuff. The chainsaw, the barbed wire bat. Oh.
I would have loved to have seen, like, Dean pulls out, like, maybe an axe handle for Roman, right? He hands Roman an axe handle. He reaches in the bag, pulls out a small sledgehammer for Seth, and then looks at the crowd and goes...
That's actually very funny, because considering, Seth's tutelage with Mr. Sledgehammer himself.
Yeah, and then he looks at the crowd, grins, pulls out the baseball bat. It's not wrapped in barbed wire, but it's a baseball bat. And he's like,
well, so
I got this.
What I think is so cool is that the Shield is still over.
Oh, yeah.
Each of the members of the Shield is still over on their own. But what I love is that even with them doing this, they are still putting in these little nuances for Dean's heel turn.
Oh, yeah. I love how Dean was like, okay, because they after clearing the ring and noting that Ziggler, McIntyre, and Strowman do not get touched in this whole brawl, they go into the back. So they go to commercial. They come back, and Dean, Seth, and Roman are all barking back and forth with the cops. The cops there. And note my quotation marks, as that will be relevant later.
Yeah, I think I have the same quotation marks around the cops in the same area that you do.
Yeah. So Baron Corbin comes in. He's like, okay, listen, guys, you can't do this. The Shield cannot be here. They are banned from the building. You drop the weapons now, you don't get arrested, you leave and don't come back. If you want to keep this going, this whole thing that you're doing right now, you can, but you assaulting a police officer, you're probably going to go to jail for quite a very long time. So,
and you'll lose your titles.
And Roman and Seth will lose their titles.
Ambrose, Dean felt a little bit of a sting that his name wasn't included in that title sentence.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll get to that. We'll get there, because that hasn't been said yet. But Dean is just like still chomping at the bit, like he wants to go. And Seth talks him down. He's like, no, listen. No, I got this. Don't worry about it. Just calm down.
Mechanics. I love the mechanics within the Shield like that.
Oh yeah.
Because that's a lot of the stuff I loved about the Shield in its first run was just seeing those little backstage vignettes, like after they had their first loss and Dean speared Roman and all that great crap. That was amazing to see the dynamics, and I love that we're getting it again.
Oh yeah, these little things are what we like to term actual character building. But going
back to those cops, there's like 3 instances of cops that I need to talk about in this.
Go for it.
We'll get to it when we'll get to it, but
yeah,
I'm just letting you know. I know we're going to talk about the cops quotation mark, and then I need to talk about a cop in particular.
Okay, but Roman kind of gives one the eye, drops the axe handle at his feet, and then Seth walks by dropping his, and Dean drops his, kind of eyeballing the guys. And I'm sorry, but I seem to have a gap in my notes here. Must be from when Oh yeah, Nikki and Brie. Nikki with Brie at ringside versus who was it? Liv Morgan?
Ruby
Riott with Liv Morgan at ringside.
This match.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed with this match. I'm either just because Ruby has so much potential Everyone has seen the great things that she's done. She's definitely the standout of the Riot Squad.
Oh yeah.
Nikki Bella coming back, you know, she's always going to be good. Everyone's going to cheer for her. I just was not into this match.
I did not care at all.
Hopefully the Riot Squad moves on with their pranks, or this actually develops into a proper feud, because right now I'm not feeling it. And granted, Nikki Bella did win with the Rack Attack 2.0, and the Bellas stood tall afterwards. But if they're going to enhance this feud, they need to find a number 3 for them.
Yeah, I mean that would be a logical point, but I don't even know who they could. I mean, there's not a lot of women that aren't involved in other feuds. Maybe Nia Jax, but that's about it.
Yeah, but we heard about her for the first time in how many months or how many weeks?
Oh, I know.
This week, but we didn't get to see her.
Apparently, because she's going to be a part of the E award, the
SBs.
E. I don't care. It's the E awards, and it's entertainment and not real.
Yeah, WWE is not taking home any of those awards compared to all those people that were nominated.
Especially like Show of the Year 2018. You're going
This
up
Is
against...
Us is in that. You're gonna have to fight.
Yeah, it's like you got a brand new show, a show that hasn't been relevant in 20 years, when all of their big names stepped away, and The Walking Dead. I mean,
did we include Saturday Night Live in that?
That's a show that hasn't been relevant in 20 years.
Oh, they have cute skits.
Yeah, but you got to admit, Dana Carvey, Steve Martin, those guys, Dan Aykroyd, they made the show. Will Ferrell.
Remember when Elijah Wood was the host after the Lord of the Rings craze?
Oh, God. I'd forgotten about that.
But we need to move on.
Yeah, what do we got?
Speaking of an oh God, I wish I could forget about it moment. Look, Connor's Cure, I love you. Props to you. I donate to you every year.
Mm-hmm.
But this was cringy.
Yeah,
Big Show doing this was just odd. They didn't look like they had prepared to do this at all.
And it's kids. You don't want to work with kids.
If you're such a big backer of Connor's Cure to the point that you have your superstars either wearing the badge, the patch on their outfits, wearing the shirts, doing the auctions, you have the patch on the ramp, the Tron, the sides.
Everybody's wearing the fucking pin.
If you are this into this, you should really plan this out better, because this was rough. I wish I wasn't watching it live when I did, because I would have fast forwarded.
I watched it live. It hurt.
It hurt. I mean, it was great to see Show, but
oh yeah, and especially because you got to kind of admit facts. He's fading into the background. He's very much becoming a part, like Triple H, of the office more than the ring, and that's fine. Let him do that. He's got a good sense of humor. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Let him do what he wants to do, especially for all the shit that he's put up with over the years. But don't make him do shit like this.
Yeah, but speaking of Triple H, up next we did get the recap of HBK and Undertaker.
That's true.
All in reference to the Triple H Undertaker match that's going to happen down in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. You really can't say much more, because we did discuss it last week. It was just a real quick recap. Mm-hmm. But this is at the point where I realized that Corey had a speech impediment problem last night.
Yeah, I don't think that he wanted to be there so hardcore, or he was super tired, because I mean, look at the work that he puts in. He's on SmackDown, he's on Raw, and I wouldn't put it past him to be doing live shows. You know, like he's commentating for live shows.
No, they don't do commentation for live shows.
Really?
No, they don't do commentator stuff for live shows.
That's terrible.
I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think it was, granted, they've had Renee on the broadcast team for 2 weeks now, mm-hmm. and now she is a official member of the commentary team. Congratulations, by the way. I just think that they are all still trying to find their rhythm with each other. Corey is used to the banter more with Coach and Cole, and now you have Renee, who is definitely a face commentator. She started cheering in a match.
Hmm.
Um,
I actually love that because it especially because her commentary seems so genuine. It seems so off the cuff. This is one of us making the commentary, and I think that with a little more time, this will become probably, and I want to say it, it could become a absolute amazing duo of Corey Graves and Renee Young. That being said,
absolutely.
I don't want to see Michael Cole anymore.
Michael Cole is the voice of the wrestling. He's the one who does the play-by-play action, not to the Mauro Ranallo status, but
Yeah.
Michael Cole has been a very mainstay name for the WWE for 20 plus years. I don't have an issue with Michael Cole being on the announce team because he does tend to keep the face and the heel commentator grounded. I think that they're all just trying to work out the rhythm right now. I give it 2 or 3 more weeks and they'll be on it. But moving on,
I was gonna say,
we
wasn't this we
see
see
Drake Maverick
with AOP telling them that they're basically gonna go out there, squash, pillage, and plunder. It's awesome.
I like Drake Maverick. I like AOP. I don't know how much I'm sold on this yet. I was all for it last week. Just something felt a little weird about this. I don't know if it was just Maverick's cadence, voice. I don't know. It felt
There's
very rehearsed.
Here's something on Maverick, and especially with the first time round. First time round, he came out as a member of AOP. He was there. He was at ringside. He was directing traffic. He was in the gear. He was there. And it
He
worked.
was there this week. He literally, the only thing he didn't have was the vest. And I'm not saying it's appearance wise. I'm just saying I didn't feel it. I felt like it was rehearsed.
Yeah, I could back you on that one. For those of you who may be wondering why we're still talking about AOP's entrance, because that was about the most interesting fucking thing that happened in this segment, because it was a squash match.
Speaking of the jobbers, Ace and Bradley, were they wearing neckties? Were they like some weird Chip and Dale guys?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I blinked and it was over.
It was a squash match. It's just a real quick, cheap way to get some momentum for AOP because they've been floundering since they came up. But after this, we started getting promos for Hell in a Cell since it's this weekend.
Yep.
The first one being the Hardy Orton feud, which...
Yep.
You don't have to hype me up anymore for this.
It's like
I'm already hyped. This is going to be amazing based on what we've seen them do in the last 3 weeks.
Yep. Stop hyping me. I'm already sold, damn it.
I'm sold on pretty much all of SmackDown's matches.
Oh yeah.
I still think Becky and Charlotte should be in Hell in a Cell because of the history behind them, and the gravity of the situation. But we can get to that later.
Triple H time.
Bow down to the king. I can't sing, but I love that.
God rest Lemmy.
His promo was a little shaky at first, though. Triple H.
It was almost like he didn't know how he wanted to do it, but he knew what he wanted to say. He's like, I want to talk about this, but I don't know how to say it. And then when he found that thread, he just yanked on it, and it went.
Oh yeah, Triple H's promos are like an 18-wheeler. It takes a while for it to warm up, but once it gets going, it gets going. I have notes on this, so I'm probably going to take over real quick.
Go for it.
He basically starts off by saying The Undertaker isn't an underdog, that he was shocked that HBK's prediction bothered and rattled Taker. Taker had lost respect for himself in essence. And all that Taker has left is his reputation. He lost the streak. He lost the edge. He lost the mystique. He lost the manager.
Ouch.
He took his respect. The respect that they had coming into this match is all gone. It's become personal now. You attacked my best friend. I'm going to put you down with what little respect I have left for you. So I mean,
I'm
I think that they didn't need to hype up this match as much as they have, but now that they have, I'm really excited for it.
Oh yeah, no, it was completely unnecessary hype, but now, but when since they went to that length, I'm gonna be that hyped, and I'm not gonna lie, straight out the gate, trips, all the way. It's got to be.
Wow. So I if we ever bring in the wild card, if we ever bring a wild card into predictions ever
Hmm.
again, this would be the ultimate wild card for me because I am such a big Taker fan. I I don't think I've ever bet against Taker.
You usually don't bet against the dead man, but in this case, trips wins because of sweet chin
I
music.
take that back. I bet against Taker once time. I bet against Taker one time and I got it wrong.
That's
Cena
okay.
Taker.
Yeah, we all
But
did.
after that we get the recap of the show, and this is where we see the saddest looking police officers, the saddest
Oh
looking cops.
yeah,
First of all, that short guy, the shortest guy, I think he's too short to actually be on the force. His hair is too long to be on the force. The guy in the
probably.
front, his uniform was all askew. I got issues.
You know, I didn't want to actually say it, but I'm going to say it now. You have two people who are intimately familiar with uniform standards, having had to adhere to them at some point in our lives, and you're going to bring this sloppy shit into my house? No. Fuck you, WWE. You don't get away with shit like this. We're going to
No, you
take
don't
you to
get to.
task on this shit. Let's go.
Jesus Christ. Speaking of things that people shouldn't be able to get away, Drew McIntyre's headbutt in this next match.
The
I like
fucking
that they call it
glass
the Glasgow
kiss.
kiss.
Oh, it fucking was great. It's like
But speaking, this is the match for the tag team championships, B
B
Team
team
versus
versus it.
Ziggler and McIntyre, since we totally jumped through half of the match.
Yeah, no, that's because this match was entertaining in the vacuum of the match. It's like, okay, watching this match on Monday Night Raw, this is good. I don't think that having the title rematch be now necessarily needed to happen, but I kind of saw where they were going before they went there. I knew that.
I think I called it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Um, I knew before the match started. I'm like, okay, the B team are not winning, be it by heel tactics or just straight
Dumb
clean
luck.
loss, or just straight clean loss. That's not happening. But I wanted to see the Revival come back in and beat the shit out of Ziggler and McIntyre. Just apropos fucking nothing, come in with a pair of chairs, beat the shit out of them, and they're scheduled for the rematch, for the match they never got, which for me would have been amazing. But now you got the fucking
Counter. We're gonna see them at Hell in a Cell. They're going to come in and mess up that match, giving Ziggler and McIntyre the DQ.
I actually I will cross counter. They do cost Ziggler and McIntyre the match, but Ambrose and Rollins win.
Yeah, that's
Like
what I meant. The
pinfall.
DQ meaning. I just mean that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to go with
Distraction.
that.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
going
we're getting into our
distraction win.
predictions now. Let's not do that.
Yeah, a little bit. But speaking of Ambrose and Rollins, they come in, attack post match. Yay.
And this is where I wrote. I still think they're going to hold all the titles because this is where they made it. Is this where they made it official that they
Not
were
yet.
going? Nope, that was
Not
later.
yet. Because we get a
Um,
replay of Mick Foley versus Undertaker from Hell in a Cell 20 years ago, ladies and gentlemen.
I
It has
just
officially
watched
been
this match.
20 years. This
I
match,
just watched this match.
I'm not even going to dignify it with telling you where it is, because you already know. If you have watched wrestling, if you have even cursory glanced at wrestling, you have seen the infamous Mick Foley Mankind falling off the top of the cell with JR Jim Ross saying, "By God, he's broken in half." You've seen the famous
And then to
picture
see
of
him
Mick Foley with the tooth in his nose. He had a hole in his lip. He was choke slammed through the top of the cell into the mat below. He was choke slammed into the thumbtacks that he himself had set. This is by and far the most brutal thing a human body has ever been through. For the sake of entertainment, they did this. It shortened both men's lives, and to this day, I have no idea how that was not the end of Mick Foley's career right there. How this was not the night that he came back the next day and had to say, I'm sorry, guys. I would love to come back and keep giving you everything that I've got, but they've told me if I even take a DDT, I'm going to die. But it was a miracle, and he kept wrestling for years after, and we get KO, we get all these legends talking about it, and it's like, no, yes, this was earth-changing. You don't look at wrestling without looking at that match. And you're going to tack that onto the pay-per-view. You're going to tack that sentiment on there. Ugh.
This promo really hyped me up for Mick Foley later tonight.
Oh yeah.
Or later in the show.
Hell, I thought he was coming out next.
Severely disappointed.
Oh God, yeah.
But speaking of next, we cut to Baron Corbin screaming at Rollins and Ambrose, telling him that
after KO comes down for a match. They insta-cut to... No. It was instantly after KO comes out that Baron Corbin is seen screaming at Dean and Seth for coming in.
Yeah, when they do that, I just move my notes around to just put everything there.
Yeah. But
let me get back to this.
Go for it.
Baron Corbin then says, I told you guys the Shield had to leave. And to the counter of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, we are not the Shield. We are Seth and Dean Ambrose.
I bet those guys
are bull crap. Baron Corbin's getting arrested, and then they talk it out.
It was.
Did you catch that the sheriff that came in and was describing Napoleon Law, his last name was Ambrose?
I did not catch that instant because again I at this point because I had watched the first hour of Raw live and then went back today to rewatch at 2 times and
yes.
I saw that he was a real sheriff. This was a real guy.
Oh yeah, he's a real guy.
This was a real cop that had a real badge that stood in that office, and it's like. You want to start talking about stuff. It's like I can't believe that Rollins didn't real world him there. Am I a jailhouse lawyer? No, but I have at least 3 on my payroll. And oh yeah, I've got this sheriff right here.
Yeah, so while Seth and Baron are talking about all that good stuff so Baron doesn't get arrested and the warrant, Dean is out talking to Sheriff Ambrose about how to get out of this speeding infraction that he's got. And they're talking about, well, I'll call you the next time I'm in jail. So I think it wasn't planned, but I don't know if the guy's last name really is Ambrose or if that was a prop.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see if anytime they're in NOLA, if something happened and this sheriff named Ambrose kept coming in.
I think
and
that
it always has to revolve around Dean.
Dean is somehow always involved.
Yes, that's just his character.
Yep.
Again, playing into that beautiful heel move we're about to get.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, we were supposed to get Kevin Owens versus Prince Pretty. This
Tyler
match
Breeze.
never starts.
Yeah. KO attacks out of nowhere. Drew gets a little. Tyler gets a little bit.
Tyler.
Yeah. I miss Fandango.
I miss Fandango. Okay,
yeah.
We need to see his recovery a little bit quicker. I would love to see Breeze actually get some matches as a singles competitor, because that's how you're going to continue to keep the Fashion Police relevant, not with just the shirt. But KO destroys Tyler Breeze, and
Yeah, that buckle bomb. Ugh.
Post, that's not a buckle bomb
I'm sorry,
anymore. That's just
that
the
apron
apron.
bomb. Yeah.
That's the apron destroyer. That's your spine getting cracked open.
Yeah.
KO grabs the mic and says, 2 weeks ago I left. Baron Corbin immediately called and begged me to reconsider and come back. He recognizes my value. So I agreed to come back with one condition. I will not be held accountable for what I do to my opponents. I am just doing my job. I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. And this is all because of Bobby Lashley. He injured Sami Zayn. He quit because of Lashley, but that is why KO is back. This is still the KO show. I will bring anarchy, agony, and destruction. Speaking of destruction,
fucking horns right there. Fucking horns. Yes. Bring it, brother. I want to see it.
Speaking of anarchy, agony, and destruction, we get the Styles versus Joe Hell in a Cell promo. Another match that, with how much they've built up and with how much bad blood is now between the two of them, this needs to be a Hell in a Cell match as well.
Well, we've got one. We've got the go home show tonight. There's probably going to be, as I stated in earlier shows, there's probably going to be a stipulation thrown on this one very last minute, just the same way we get the next one. But we'll get there.
This next match. Oh, this next match.
Fucking Bobby.
My favorite people in the world.
Yep, Ascension versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Fucking Chad Gable being like super eager to get in there. It's like, dude, give your man a chance to do a thing. Fuck, that's a tag.
Go ahead.
That's how tag team wrestling works. You nut. How do you not know this? You were a tag team champion. You should know. Let your dude do the thing. If he's in the middle of setting up for the glorious DDT, you don't fucking stop him. Let him do it. Let him win the match and raise his arm afterwards. But he tags himself in multiple times blindly and ends up winning the match anyway after hitting that fucking roll-through German suplex into the pinning combination. That was still pretty good.
So you say that, Bobby Roode had the chance to win this match. The thing I think they're going with right now is because Chad Gable doesn't get his entrance music. The last 2 weeks that we've seen Gable and Roode, it's only been Bobby's entrance, which would make sense as to why they want Gable's music to play at the end, because he's the other person. My only issue is that they're already teasing a breakup.
And I'm okay with that, especially because of the way that it's pointing. It's like, eventually, Roode is going to, I mean, you can kind of see the writing on the wall with that one. It's that Rude's going to get sick of this shit. He's going to get sick of it. And he's going to turn around and he's going to make sure that Gable pays for it. And that's fine. That's the Bobby Roode in NXT that everybody fell in love with. So
yes, that's one of my main concerns, is that Bobby left as a heel and he came as a face. Oh,
are we busting? Oh, you got a Gatorade?
No, it's not. Nope. It's not Gatorade. We don't have a brand deal.
I mean, I've got my generic double wall tumbler made of stainless steel with a rather good coffee company. If you ever need coffee, go on ahead and check out Death Wish coffee. It's amazing. And
Please promote us. I drink the coffee.
Yeah, me too. Valhalla Java, Death Wish coffee, fucking amazing. And I'm currently drinking Four Loko. So let's move on. Backstage, we get fucking. We're in the locker room with Ziggler, McIntyre, Corbin, and Strowman. It's at this
all bitching at each other,
all fucking arguing. It's at this point we get the announcement of Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose at Hell in a Cell, and Strowman's like, I'm going big dog hunting.
Well, you know that Baron only announced this. This had to be what Baron and Seth were talking about.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
we're
not going to press charges as long as you don't strip our titles and you put us in line for the Hell in a Cell at Hell in a Cell. Yeah. We get Alexa Bliss and Mickie James versus Natalya and Ronda Rousey. Again, this is a predictable pre-pay-per-view match for me.
Yeah, very, very predictable. I have a couple little bullet points.
Go for it.
What Alicia Fox's captain hat? What are we doing, Alicia Fox? Are we still doing that? You were the captain of the Raw Women's team. Are we still doing that?
Apparently,
It's been almost a year.
She wants to wear the captain's hat because it actually went really well with her outfit and made her look really good, and I loved it. And B,
Alicia Fox can't look bad.
And B, she's fucking nuts. You're not going to argue with her for wearing anything. Remember, she started out with a sea captain's hat, moved into a harder, like the hard brim sea captain's hat, and then started putting shit on it.
And then she had the captain's jacket for a little bit, and then she reverted back to the bejeweled captain's hat.
Yep.
Another bullet point for me is, I think it's midway through the match, Rousey gets tagged in, or no, it would be at the beginning of the match.
Yep.
Rousey gets tagged in, and Alexa's the legal girl. I have never seen someone that short move that quickly across the ring to tag in another unwilling competitor, because good God,
she was
tag.
Yeah, she was. Whoop! I don't want this.
Bliss's attempted armbar, which Natty then rolls her up for the near fall. I thought that was pretty cool. Yep. The heart attack to Bliss.
Oh yeah, fucking Rousey about decapitated Mickie James.
I will say, props to Ronda. She sold the rib injury extremely well. I know a lot of people are still on the fence about Rousey. I think that she's being trained incredibly well. Props to the NXT Performance Center. Props to Natalya. Props to whoever is helping Ronda out, because she looks really good in the ring. I'm actually kind of excited for the match.
Again, and I hate to be one of those people that says the same shit, that's coming from everywhere. This was Brock Lesnar level of selling. Like, when Lesnar believes in a thing, he sells it with his soul. This was Ronda selling that rib injury with her fucking life. And especially we get into I'm skipping to this part because I want to. To the interview with Ronda Rousey and Natalya in gorilla position, and she's pissed. She looks hurt. She's making that I'm hurt and I'm pissed off because of it kind of stance. And she's like, I don't care. I've never backed out of a fight in my life. I'm not going to start now. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to beat the shit out of her, basically. And it's fucking great. And I'm like, you go, girl. You are a great champ. But backtracking
to the match, Rousey does win by submission with the armbar. But Alexa Bliss does get the extra kick in post match. Although Rousey's music is the one that plays at the end.
Yep.
After that, we get the beautiful Charlotte and Becky Hell in a Cell promo. This is just another match that I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to tonight to see what SmackDown's going to do to finalize the feud.
Yeah.
The road. Just good God. I don't care who wins it. I just want to see Becky and Charlotte continue to fight.
Hang on.
I would love to see Becky get the title, though.
I turned my microphone way down for that. I hope I didn't turn it down too low. Anyway.
No, I heard it just fine. But after that beautiful Hell in a Cell promo for Charlotte and Becky, we get Elias spitting tea at a crew member.
Yep.
And then Braun screaming for Reigns. And that poor corporate soul.
That poor guy. Okay, I know that they kind of, you'll be here and Braun comes in, he'll do this, and you get to do this part. And then that guy getting that role, he had to draw the fucking short straw, because the other guy that he yelled at first when he stared him down and the guy kind of, head down, backed away, that guy getting thrown into the road cases probably like assuming he had a the level of skill to take it. Him taking it makes sense. He's a normal guy getting thrown into the
Well,
thing.
so
It works, but throwing the
the
small guy
issue.
into there, just no.
Well, so little guy was told to move it after getting pinned to the wall, and little guy did not move it. So Braun moved him.
Yep.
Um,
Fucking Elias in the ring. We're
the
gonna.
cheap pop followed by the cheap heat,
Yep.
calling out that Saints loss. Oh my gosh.
The deafening who dat.
Who dat? Mick Foley interrupts.
Fucking Mick Foley.
Um,
It's like I think that.
instantly out of breath.
Oh yeah, like he kind of like jogged down to the ring and God rest Mick. It's like, dude, you're not in any good shape. Don't overdo it. Just walk out to the ring. Walk. You don't got to jog. Walk. Take it easy. Wave to the crowd. Maybe do bang bang a little bit. Just kind of play up to the crowd a little bit.
I wanted to see
Fucking-
Mr. Sacco so bad.
I thought we were going to.
I really thought so. I thought Mick was going to get a shot on Elias.
Fucking Foley. Let's stop here at the very beginning of his promo. He put
Is
Elias.
amazing.
He put over Elias hard. Said he
I
saw
love
him as
it.
a future Universal Champion within the next year. I'm like,
Nah, he said few years.
in the next few years. Still, it's fucking amazing because he's not wrong.
No, he easily built up Elias very quickly, and then he turns it around so quickly, saying, but that's in a few years. I'm talking about this weekend.
Yeah, 6 days from now.
Look, Mick Foley's promos are, oh my gosh, they're amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
He's
there
such
have been
a
times.
great talker.
Yeah, he's very, very charismatic, and he can get his point across very, very well, as long as he doesn't have a whole lot to say. If you give him a short list of things to say, and say, go out there, do this, go, and he'll get there. He can fill 10 minutes with that, and that's fine. The thing is like they took a little while to get to the fact that Mick Foley announces that he's gonna be the special guest referee for the Strowman Roman Hell in a Cell match, and that he managed to finagle a little bit of power and schedule a match for tonight. One match, and he scheduled Elias versus Finn Balor.
So after this point in time, Raw fell into the black hole for me. I love any matches that have Elias and Finn in it.
Oh yeah.
This match in particular did not ring my bell.
Oh,
and
no,
then I think it's because we didn't truly have a main event.
Yeah,
We didn't have anything to look forward to tell us that this is the end. I mean, aside from Charlie Caruso later saying go to the ring to Braun. But
I mean that part was just basically like that could have been in the middle. We didn't have Michael Cole all night going, and tonight we're going to see Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns in the main event. No, there was nothing to look forward to.
Well, because there wasn't a match scheduled.
There should have been.
There should have been a match. It shouldn't have been Braun and Roman though.
Well, it should have been like if I had to schedule a main event, it would have been like Seth Rollins versus somebody. Put it out there.
Seth's IC title isn't being defended at Hell in a Cell, so I don't really see any point in Seth having a main event match, even one-on-one with McIntyre or Ziggler.
Well, oh no, here it is: Seth versus Baron Corbin for the IC title because fucking Baron wants to steal it from him.
What?
Think about it.
Where did you hear that?
No.
Oh, you're planning. You're planning.
That's
No, I think
how I would have done it.
I think if anything, Finn could potentially get the IC belt, and then Baron would come back to mess with Finn.
Well, no, I was just saying that would have been the main event for Raw. I didn't say he was going to win it.
Oh, you're going about this main event.
Yeah, had there been an actual main event for the show, that's what I would have went with.
Yes. I
Because
guess.
it would have given an
Baron doing
excuse
that,
because we don't have an IC title match for Hell in a Cell.
that's fine. We don't have to have an IC title match for Hell in a Cell. There are too many titles for all of them to be defended.
Doing the Universal, the US Championship though.
Okay, but how many matches do we already have scheduled for Hell in a Cell?
I don't
The
know.
issue is that we have too many titles and not enough time.
Yeah. Now that the Universal Championship is back on TV, I will grant you that yes, there are a bunch of titles and they need to start defending the mid-card titles on TV. And especially if Connor's to be believed, they're thinking about bringing back some of the Attitude Era titles fairly soon. I don't remember which ones he had said, forgive me, as that was on Friday that he had reported it. But
and the only way that they could do that is to not dual brand anymore. To do the dual branded pay-per-views, you're cutting half the rosters in order to do this. We don't get to see some of these the smaller storylines. Those are left for TV, which that's great. Give us a reason to watch TV every week. But
they don't do it.
The issue is that there's too many titles, not enough time.
Speaking of not enough time, this match with Balor and Elias goes actually really weird at the end, with Balor getting the roll-up victory on Elias. So, all right, fine. Next, we get a vignette of earlier today or earlier in the week? It was
earlier this week.
Yeah. Fucking Lio Rush is doing his hype man thing around Bobby Lashley, who's not paying attention at all. He's like, I don't give a fuck. There's this little guy. He's yapping. I'm not paying attention. I got my beats on. I'm lifting. Let's do this. And fucking this kind of hurt in a sense.
I think I know why I don't like Lio Rush.
Go for it.
He reminds me too much of Enzo. He's the little guy. He's got a big mouth. God. He's all about the name brand stuff.
Damn it.
Did you just make the connection?
Yeah. I didn't see that before. I just thought he was a yappy guy, you know, because I didn't.
And what is one of the main insults all of the big guys used to give Enzo? He's a yappy, scrappy guy.
Yeah, but and I don't want to see. I don't want to see Lio Rush taking up screen time. Hell, I didn't want to see this taking up screen time, but Lio Rush especially taking up screen time on Raw when he's on 205 Live. Yes.
Look, I'm happy to see cruiserweights, but not this cruiserweight.
Yeah, I mean, hell, have one or two, have a cruiserweight match on the show. Let it be a good thing. Let it be a good one.
I don't want to see a cruiserweight match on Raw unless it's one of those very once in a while, because you have to think of how much time it takes to set up a cruiserweight ring. You've got to change the rope colors, which means they got to retape everything. You got to change the mat because you have the cruiserweight logos on it.
They could just
let the cruiserweight stay on 205 Live. That's how they.
It's like, if you actually stepped in and said, this is going to be a cruiserweight match, we're not putting your shit on the ring. We'll change the turnbuckles because the turnbuckles and the outside ring apron can change on a dime. It's LED. It's not that hard. Let it happen. And you guys wrestle in the ring. Go. Show us why we're watching. Why we want to watch 205 Live.
But we can talk about that on Wednesday.
Yeah. Braun Strowman is interviewed about.
Poor Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie Caruso just gets like glared into the ground. And she suggests that Strowman go and call Roman out in the ring and let him find you, which it eventually happens that after Braun Strowman cuts a bit of a promo, they meet at the top of the ramp. One curious thing I did note was that instead of wearing the Connor's Cure logo on his front. He was actually wearing it on his back.
So when he came out with that, I was almost 100% sure WWE was going to say that was going to be an auction item because all of the Conor Cures items have the gold on them.
Yeah.
I saw Seth's wristbands. They have the Conor's Cure logo on them. I thought those were going to go up. Maybe those will go up for auction later in the month.
Maybe.
But
he gets...
I thought it was cool, and his layout that he has on his Twitter is really cool. He's got him with the belt facing the wrong way, and then you see the Conor's Cure logo on the back.
Roman manages to get the upper hand and give Braun a Samoan drop from the announce table through the stage, and that's how we go off of the air for Monday Night Raw. Personally, this was an okay go home show. It wasn't great, but it could have been better. I'll give it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, I was gonna give it a 6 out of 10. So
average it out; it'll be okay.
Yeah, average it out. Hopefully, SmackDown will be better tonight. SmackDown's typically is.
Yep, starting in 2 hours, and we will be back tomorrow night to cover SmackDown Live. So thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share all those wonderful things down below. Hit the bell for the notifications. Follow us on Twitter at InMoshPit. I'm at Rob's Random ROMs. She's at Heavy Metal Hippie. It's going to be wonderful tonight.